Fourth down, the final play, unless they can stick it in the end zone. Dorsey under pressure, throws it, incomplete. The Buckeyes win.
Ezekiel Elliott, and he's got an opening. Elliott off to the races. Can they catch him?
Feature the two backs as receivers, and now a downfield shot on first down for the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State strikes first. Making the judgments again, and there is Smith running free, breaks a tackle. Ohio State strikes quickly from 45 yards. Pressure comes. Sword, knock it out, and gets out. Jack Sword coming down the sidelines. Ohio State scoop and score. And dagger from 82 yards.
Here they come.
Heavy pressure. Howard delivers downfield. It's Smith. He's got it. Jeremiah Smith. 2025 college football national champion, Coach Ryan Day, and the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Welcome in, Buckeye Backers. We are bringing it to you live from Seattle, Washington, to the cornfields of Enid, Ohio. We are the pulse of Buckeye fans across the nation, with Seattle Matt and Buckeye Steve. Welcome in, Buckeye Backers. We have a special guest. Steele Chambers joins the show. Former Buckeye, was 13 tackles against Michigan your junior year, I guess. Redshirt junior year, was it?
Was that what it was? I was too sad afterwards to look at the stats.
Yeah, man. You showed out. I mean, losing the game does not feel good, but when you respond and when you play against the team up north, that's got to count for something.
I guess got to have a little bit of pride. So I like that I was able to at least put up 13 tackles.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Cody Croy joining us again as he usually does on Wednesdays. So we got to talk a little bit about off season, but first let's get into you, what you're doing now, how it's going in the UFL. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing and you're about to prepare for a season right now.
Yeah, I report to Arlington, Texas in a month and a half. I'm going to be playing with the Louisville Kings this year. Was hoping to kind of be on that Columbus team just to be in Columbus, kind of get that vibe, that city that I love. But it is what it is, doing that. And then I just got a spot doing being the co-host with Bobby Carpenter on their show on 97.1 in Columbus. So doing that, just kind of getting ready for the next stages of life as far as the media side of things. Trying to get in that, talking to like Cardell Jones and guys like Perry and whatnot. So I don't know, just getting prepared for the next stage, man.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about Ohio State. There is a lot of that media presence, and it's becoming bigger and bigger, I think, every year. All the former players that have their own shows, all the former players that are in the spotlight. I mean, go all the way back to Kirk Herbstreit and the things that he's doing at ESPN. There's a lot going on. So congratulations to you to know that that's what you want to be in and keep it up. We are, if that's okay, going to play a little clip, and Cody Croy's got it set up. What you're doing on Instagram, the talk tape, that is great.
Oh, tape talk? Oh, tape appreciate it, man.
Yeah. So we're going to play that, get people to know that just a little bit. This is from the national championship. The talk tape is awesome. It's damn good, so you got to go check it out. Do you have that anywhere else but Instagram? Do you do that on YouTube too?
I'll post it on YouTube, but man, I get copyrighted for that. I'm just pulling plays straight from YouTube.
Really?
Sure.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm not a very savvy guy as far as electronics, so I'm just trying to find plays however I can.
For sure. Well, YouTube will copyright you every time, and that's the thing that stinks about that. But we'll get it up here from your Instagram. Cody, are you ready to roll with it?
Yeah, is it there?
I'm going to add it to the show right now.
What play is it? What play is it? Oh boy.
The national championship.
Down how the Indiana Hoosiers beat the Miami Hurricanes for the national championship to cap off a historical season. To start this game, it looked like it would be a defensive battle till Indiana starts finding some holes in this Miami defense, running one of their signature RPOs, run pass option plays, where the read is going to be this linebacker. If he stays in the throw window, Mendoza is going to hand it off. If he comes down to support the run, he's going to pull it and throw it to the glance route. As soon as he comes down just enough, Mendoza pulls the trigger on his read. He fires it into Cooper, who gains some extra yak yards for the first explosive play of the game.
So that particular play, is that something, was that like a theme throughout the night? What did you see in this game that really allowed Indiana to go out and dominate in this game and win the national title?
Well, as far as their offense, they just kind of keep things really simple. If you look at just their entire season, Mendoza really never has to go through progressions. It's a lot of RPOs where he's just reading one guy. If he comes up, he's going to throw it. Or they look to the outside. If there's free access, he's just going to sling it out for a quick 5 or 7 yards. So they just really have simplified that. And then, of course, their run game with Hendy Black is fantastic. So that's what it was on offense. And then defense, they just run everything. I mean, they're running stunts up front. I mean, some simulated pressures, real pressures. They bring everything at you. You've got to prepare for a lot. And I'm not really surprised they're national champions. I mean, they just make so little mistakes across the entire team.
What did you see in the Ohio State game, the Big Ten championship, that really kind of hurt the Buckeyes?
It was a lot of that pressure. I mean,
Okay.
like I said, it was a simulated pressures. The line was just a little confused as far as what was going on. They were dropping the D tackle and then bringing both safeties, bringing 2 linebackers, and then dropping the entire right side of the line. It was that. And then surprisingly enough, I mean, they were just winning the one-on-ones on the outside. I mean, Charlie Becker having a fantastic end of the year. You can't stop the dude.
This is a great question.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think the offense that Cignetti runs, do you think that will affect Mendoza at the pro level?
I was just talking about with my buddy that played over at FAU. I think it definitely will. I mean, he's still going to do fine, but it's going to take him a little bit of time. Just knowing how to read an NFL defense and then going through actual progressions instead of just going to like a first read guy, because the offense is pretty simple for the most part. So now he's got to develop that ability to actually go, okay, there's 1 read, there's 2, there's 3. So that's going to take a little bit of time, but he's a smart dude. He's going to figure it out.
Absolutely.
Sure. And that you brought up Charlie Becker, and that was just like kind of the icing on the cake at the end of the season. You kind of need that team to start like showing up and develop and gelling together. Omar Cooper going out and Charlie Becker coming in and being able to be that like second or third guy as the receiver room goes. Wow. And then you get Omar Cooper back for the national title game. And man, that offense is something different when you have the explosion at the wideouts and Mendoza that can get him the ball quickly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's just a testament to their culture. They were saying how he's mostly a special teams guy. And then he gets a chance, he goes out there and he makes it plays. I kind of equivalent that to like Xavier Johnson a couple years ago. Whenever he finally got in the field against Notre Dame, he scored. So like these guys are good. Once they get on the field, they're going to make plays.
Yeah, like that next man up mentality is great anywhere. Like if you can show that, obviously you saw that at Ohio State. Since we're getting into that deep diving into Ohio State, what, from a defensive standpoint, you're a linebacker, also played offense, but transitioned to that linebacker spot.
Yeah.
But coming in as a running back, you see both sides of it. Then you switch over to linebacker. What stands out about Ohio State's offense this year that they couldn't quite just kind of get over that edge when they were getting all that pressure from defensive line? Not just Indiana, but Miami too. Those last 2 games, they couldn't escape that defensive pressure. Was it offensive line? Was it scheme? Was it a little bit of both?
It was a little scheme. Of course, I'm not an offensive coordinator. I don't know how to call a game, but I feel like there's some times where Coach Day's a little on his heels as far as play calling. Like you saw against the team up north, he was taking shots like first or second play of the game. And then it just took a little while to develop that against a team like Indiana. And then the offensive line, I think that just takes time. I mean, you can have some of the most talented guys up there, but if they haven't spent years doing it with one another, it just takes time to kind of develop that relationship and kind of like that unspoken trust with one another that they know what's going to happen every single play.
Sure.
When Steve mentioned you playing running back or linebacker, switching to linebacker, you kind of had a little tone there. Like, I read in an article that you were pretty reluctant. What kind of changed your mind and made you say, hey, I got to go do this for my team?
Travion Henderson.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He came into the spring. So I was kind of fixing to be the RB1 in my sophomore year. Master Teague had just blown out his Achilles. And then COVID hits. Trey Sermon comes in. Master, he's a cyborg, so he heals immediately. So they both jumped me going into my junior year. Now Trey's coming in. He's a freshman, but he immediately jumps me after a week in spring practice. And then, like, looking over at the linebacker room, they're pretty thin. Have a talk with Coach Washington, Coach Day, and they recruited me a little bit to be a linebacker. So I just decided, you know what? That's my best opportunity to be on the field and help the team. So why not? So pulled the trigger, did it.
Man, did that work out well?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to see the field as a running back, man. It wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, but
Did
I mean,
you,
it worked out great. Sometimes that's you take what life gives you. Like if you have lemons, you make lemonade, and you surely did that. Like I said, 13 tackles against Michigan. You was it third team All Big Ten that you were in 2023?
Something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but man, and changing positions too. That's hard to do in the middle of Division I, top of the line college football.
Yeah, but it was either that or transferring, and I'm not a big fan on the whole transferring thing.
Yeah,
let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's one of the things we wanted to get into with you.
So go ahead, man.
You kind
Your
of
thoughts on the
bridged that
transfer
gap.
portal?
Wait,
Just
Go ahead, Cody.
just your thoughts on the transfer portal, how it is today. What was the culture like just a few years ago, and how do you think NIL has impacted everything?
I mean, it's a lot. It's a tool for guys to get second, maybe third opportunities, because of course there's situations where you just kind of need a different vibe as far as a college team and whatnot. But now it's turning into this thing where everyone is basically an employee and they're free agents after a single year, and they're just going to certain teams chasing certain money. And you're seeing it with like starting quarterbacks, starting linebackers. It's guys that are in a great position on great teams, and they're just moving on because they're getting a bigger paycheck somewhere else. So that's where it's kind of losing its luster for me. I mean, I can't really blame them. If someone offers me $3 million and I don't love where I'm at, I'd probably take it. But I don't know. College football shouldn't be that way, but that's what it is. It's kind of impossible to get that back in the bottle, but we are where we are.
Yeah, if you let that out, the toothpaste is out of the tube. There's no way of putting that back in.
I know.
Something's got to change, though. I don't think this is something that goes on indefinitely, but I just don't know how it changes. It's going to have almost government intervention for this to change. But the SEC sure as hell wants it to change. They want it to change quick.
Oh, yeah, now the Big Ten's on top, man. As soon as that first of all, they've been paying people forever. Now, I love the SEC. I love the culture that it brings, but
100%.
they've been doing that for decades.
So just talking about your recruitment, did you get teams wanting you to play linebacker, or were you recruited as a running back for the most part?
It was split down the middle. It was half teams linebacker, half teams running back. I was a very hard-headed dude, still kind of am, but I was dead set on being a running back. Just thought that'd be cooler. And Ohio State was my favorite team that wanted me as that, so went with them.
We're off to see some packages with St. Louis this year. You and some running back packages.
No. I don't need the ball. I had a little bit of a fumbling problem my freshman year. I'm too scared to lose it.
Fair enough.
So we talked a little bit about NIL and how it started, but you kind of bridged the gap between that. You came in, there wasn't NIL. The transfer portal wasn't a thing. Now it is. You kind of got to see firsthand how that really changed the game. See before, see the after effect. Fields had transferred in for Ohio State, but those were kind of the exceptions to the rules at the time. It was a lot of quarterback transfers. And now it's just like there's still 1,600 guys in the portal right now that might not find a home.
Yeah, because now they got to go back and kind of beg for their position back, but all those spots are taken. So that's kind of the dark side of it that a lot of people aren't seeing. They see the Instagram post where so-and-so got $500,000 to go to LSU. But next thing you know, Bobby, he doesn't have a team anymore.
Right. So absolutely.
That's tough. What was it like for the coaching staff when they're finding out some of these things, the player personnel coaches? Did you get to see any of that up front? Like, oh man, life is changing dramatically. How are we going to adjust to this?
Not really. My last year was right before it all just kind of opened up.
Mhm.
Because we had our year. I mean, we got paid really well by Ohio State. It was like the 22 starters got a lump sum. And
Mhm.
then once I left, that was whenever they were able to get all the seniors and some of the juniors to stay and come back for another year. And
Yep.
that's when a lot of
Yeah.
the big bucks were starting to get thrown around.
Yeah.
What's if I recall, you had one season of eligibility. What kind of factored into the decision to go ahead and declare for the draft?
I just felt like it was time to move on. I
Fair enough.
mean, I would have
Absolutely.
loved to stay and get that championship with the boys. I mean, that would have been awesome, but I don't know, it felt like it was time for the next stage. And even if it wasn't going to work out the way I wanted to, I don't like regretting anything I do. So I'm
Sure.
glad I did what I did.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
And you don't know that they're going to turn around and win a national title the very next year either. I mean, you gotta do what you got to do, and
Oh,
now you're set up, man.
yeah, I mean, I'm of course confident they were at least going to put on a showing, but
Yeah,
the performance they had those last 3 or 4 games was unreal.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it's in our intro too. I mean, it was just and Bryson Blue in our locker room here. As soon as you mentioned Travion Henderson, he was like, he's a Oregon fan, so he was like, "Man, you're giving me war flashbacks."
I've never been so surprised by something like that in my life. I mean, I thought they were gonna win, but
Mhm.
the absolute just butt kicking they put on them was
Yeah.
unreal.
For
You
sure.
Like, I mean, I was at the
Slot.
Chick-fil-A bowl whenever it was happening. I was looking at my phone, and like as I'm walking out, there's 5 minutes. Like they're only 5 minutes into the game, and they're up by 21 points.
Mhm.
I thought it was like a typo on my phone or something. It was
It was
ridiculous.
insane. Insane.
Yeah, like, what is going on? Then, I mean, you go and look at the bowl game afterwards against Texas in the Cotton Bowl. Without some self-inflicted penalties, they probably could have done the same thing against Texas, but I think it was 5 drives that got killed by penalties.
Yeah, they were struggling a little bit to kind of cap off drives, but luckily got Travion, got Jack Sawyer. They saved the
Mhm.
day.
For sure. Yeah,
That play was wild. My goodness.
It was amazing.
Uh,
So I want to switch gears a little bit. Is it true that your father named you after a movie?
where are you getting this information, man?
You're Steele Chambers. We have to know.
Yeah, he named me after a movie.
Where did you get that? You told me that before we came on too, and I was just like, I didn't even think about where did that come from?
I know things.
It came. I haven't even seen the movie. It's a movie from Shaq called Steel. I think he's like an Iron Man type of superhero. I don't really know.
I have no
Interesting.
idea.
I don't know. I asked him at some point in my life because that maybe get an idea of why he named me that. It was either that or apparently chili. I don't know. I don't know if he was drunk or something trying to name me, but he at least went with the better of the two.
That's true.
Chili Steele. Very
Yeah, it was.
interesting.
He wanted to be CC Chili Chambers.
Chili Chambers. Actually,
Yeah, I don't-
that rolls off a little bit.
Not
But
really.
Steele's better. I do like Steele. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's
Yeah, I'll take the medal any day of the week.
yeah, for sure. Another thing that I wanted to go back on, you had a couple of games at Ohio State that I really wanted to talk about. 2019 Clemson game. You were
Yeah.
a freshman at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Not seeing a lot of time. You were playing special teams? Did you get?
I
on
was
the field?
playing for the first part of the year, and then I redshirted.
Or you ended up redshirting. That's
Okay.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then you get the opportunity to go back against them, but it's the 2020 COVID year.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a little insight into what that was like for a team. Like, just first of all, COVID, then being able to respond to Clemson the next year and getting that victory.
The COVID year sucked. It was bad because I mean there's just so much unknown as far as are we going to even have practice today? Are we going to have this game? Because at any
Mhm.
given moment they can just pull the cord and say, okay, we're done practicing for the week. The game's canceled. We'll come back in 10 days and start things over. So there was that portion of it. Me and like Bryson Shaw, Tommy Eichenberg, we all got COVID around the same time. And I mean, we were dying. I mean, I couldn't breathe out my lungs. And that kind of just carried over for like the next 2 months. Like I just had this weird respiratory issue. I couldn't breathe or anything. But we were able to, the team overall was doing really well. We only played like 8 games, but we were winning everything.
Mhm.
And then beat Clemson. That was a great game. That was fun to be at. And then just get stomped on by Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was
So
was the team really sick? Were there there were some guys out with COVID? Was it Tommy Togiai out?
I think he might have been out for a game. The one I am remembering was goodness gracious, who was it? I don't know. We would just have random guys just pop up out of nowhere, like boom, we're like at the game site on Friday night, but so and so can't play because they're getting pulled. They tested positive.
Right.
It was Justin Hilliard. He was one of the big ones on Friday
Yeah.
night that they told him he can't play.
Yeah, that's a huge one too.
That's brutal. Brutal.
I know.
I can't.
It
I
sucks.
cannot imagine that. That would. I don't even know how you adjust to that.
Yeah, and that was that was his last year, and I'm pretty one of our last games. So like, you only got 2 or 3 guaranteed games left, and they're pulling you out for one. Like that's a hard pill to swallow for some
That's tough.
guys.
Sure.
Yeah,
At your senior year, on top of that.
exactly.
So getting back to the Clemson game, getting that revenge on them, absolutely dominate them. That had to have felt awesome because there was so much stress on that Clemson game the year before, 2019. A couple plays went the wrong way. The fumble was returned for a touchdown was a fumble returned for a touchdown, but called back in the booth. Don't know how that happened. To this day, it just blows my mind that you could overturn that call called on the field. First of all,
I know.
And Clemson fans, they still cry about the targeting on Skalski.
Seriously?
there's nothing they can say about
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
That's ridiculous. Well, what about the targeting on Sean Wade?
I know.
I mean, Trevor
know.
Lawrence just straight up ducked into that. There's nothing he can do.
It's ridiculous.
those I hate. When an
Targeting's
offensive player
awful.
lowers their head as a defender, there's nothing you can do in that split second.
I know it's the targeting thing is hard because there are some plays where a dude just straight up looking at the dirt where you need to call that. But then sometimes like he's just trying to make a play, and if the offensive guy's ducking too, what do you want him to do? Get all the way down to
Right.
his shins?
It should almost be targeting on the offense if they're lowering their head.
That's going to be a hard thing to sell to the league.
Yeah.
But I mean,
No.
if they could, that'd make it nice, make it a little more even as far as giving the defense a handicap.
Here in the locker room, dude, your boy said COVID ruined my 4th grade season. I was devastated.
Oh, I'm sorry, brother. It ruined a lot of things.
So obviously a chance to play football is pretty amazing. But what about the UFL specifically is really appealing? There's a bunch of shakeup in the management each year, unfortunately, but the league is still surviving. What is it that you think is appealing to not only the players, but the fans?
I think it's a cool opportunity, especially this year, to have all these new teams and kind of be a part of a rebuilding process where
Yes.
you're getting onto this new team and you can maybe work with like the media or the coaches or something and like kind of shape things your way as far as how do you want to get this team out there and make it known to the city that there's like a new professional team around. And I was excited to do that with Columbus. I was trying to get out there and really like promote the team, but now I'm going to be doing that with Louisville. So just trying to find different ways to really get out there because it is hard with some cities as far as like making the team popular because we're not living there.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
So just finding ways to kind of like get people on board and like excited to go watch the games.
We spoke to Gary on Conley a couple of weeks ago, and he had mentioned that he saw Sven picked up. He said if Columbus called, absolutely. Do you feel like that would be the sentiment for a lot of Ohio State players that would want to go and play in Columbus?
Oh yeah, I feel like anyone that's in the UFL and wants to play this year, like they want to play on the Columbus team just because it's a beautiful place. Everyone falls in love with it whenever you play there. So like it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah. And the marketability for a player and for ticket sales, I would imagine the UFL would want as many possible Ohio State players on that Columbus Aviators team as they can. As of right now, they just have one, right?
They have Matt Jones and G. Scott.
I didn't know Matt Jones was on the team. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And at least they got a Buckeye as their head coach too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then they also have Cardell like on the board of ambassadors or whatever. So they've got people in the building.
Cool.
So the UFL, the process is kind of different. Aren't players like assigned to different teams?
So the Kings were able to assimilate 12 players from the Memphis team. So they got to choose. And that's why I wasn't able to go on the Columbus team, because they took priority as far as keeping me on the team instead of like the Aviators drafting me.
I got you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That makes sense too. It's really good for you, man, because they wanted you. They want to keep you on the team, and you were one of the 12 that got selected. So
yeah, that feels good.
And you had pretty good stats last year too. I mean, 41 solo tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, 76 total tackles, a couple pass breakups too. So you had some pretty darn good stats for that. That was your first year with the Showboats? Yeah,
that was my first year.
Yeah. So
I mean, I came into that season fat. I don't know why, but the winter before I gained like 10 pounds. I was like 240 or something, and I had to shed that off pretty fast after my buddy called me and said I looked chunky on TV.
He did. He told you how it is.
Yeah, he told me how it was. Next thing you know, that's what I'm still swimming because of it. I'm still trying to shed off fat.
So whenever you play guys like G. Scott, is there going to be some banter during the game? How's that going to work?
Oh goodness, I know what I'm interested in is hitting Matt Jones in the head. He's got probably the hardest hit I've ever hit. That's going to bring me flashbacks to God, inside period back in like 2021. Because I mean that dude has cement in his skull.
Well, I can't wait to see it.
It's going to be fun to play those guys. I'm looking forward to it.
So I think Steve's frozen, but your show with Bryson Shaw, what kind of made you want to get into podcasting? I'm interested to hear about your perspective with us, because we love podcasting just as much as you do.
Oh yeah, I mean he kind of started his own thing, and like he really wanted to bring me in and just kind of like add a different perspective and a kind of different mind to bounce stuff off of. And I mean, I love to do. We roommated for like 3 or 4 years in Ohio State, so I figured why not. So we just hop on for like football, just talk nonsense and just have a good time. And it's kind of a fun way to kind of get out there and ultimately, like with tape talk and everything, just kind of use that as somewhat of a resume. Since I was a finance major, I never like studied as far as like media or anything. So just something to have whenever I ultimately pull the plug and like say, okay, I want to get into media. I want to go be an analyst at CBS, at ESPN, something like that. So it's just like a little extra tool to like show people.
Fair enough. Is that a goal of yours to get on ESPN or?
Oh yeah, I would love to be like on College Game Day. That's the dream.
That would be awesome.
Oh yeah, like Pat. Yeah. Oh, I don't even know how I deal with Pat, man. Goodness gracious, that's just unlimited energy by that man.
He's got personality, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, something like that. And then I love like what Cardell does. I love what Josh Perry does. So like anything in that space would be awesome.
Very cool. So you spent time, I believe it was the Lions and the Patriots after you went undrafted. Obviously didn't end up making the team, but what did you feel like you learned from those experiences in the NFL?
Yeah, it's really a business, and one play like in a preseason game can kind of affect a lot of stuff because the idea I got afterwards during my exit interviews was like they really liked me, especially the Patriots, and they felt like I wasn't able to contribute enough on special teams. They brought up a play that I completely agree with where returner was able to get out the gate. I had an opportunity to block a guy. I thought I was going to be a block in the back, so I kind of veered off a little bit, and I guess that just put a bad taste in their mouth. So it's just the fact that they're looking at every single rep you're doing in practice, in preseason games. So just realizing that every single play matters, and you got to find value wherever you can on the field.
Fair enough. Absolutely. Just while we wait for Steve to get back, you won 2 state titles in high school.
Oh, yes, sir. I have pride in those titles, man.
So what's that kind of like? Just coming together with your guys, just coming together to go win it all.
That was, I mean, oh God, I cried both times. Just because we were a tight knit group. I moved to Georgia whenever I was 8, and I met all those guys through feeder sports in baseball, basketball, football. And we kind of somewhat illegally got recruited to go there since it was a private school. So we all wanted to go to the same school and play with one another. And I mean, we just kept building bonds throughout high school. And then we get to our junior year, we're all like pretty established as the guys. So we're going out there, we're playing both ways, and then ultimately end up winning the state championship against Kyle Hamilton. So I have
Oh,
that over the
wow.
man.
Very
Yeah,
cool. Very
but
cool.
love. I was playing with Kyle all throughout feeder too, so love the dude. So yeah, won that one, and then senior year, it was expected that we were supposed to win it, so had to go out and do it again.
Nice. Very cool.
hmm
Were you a Bulldogs fan growing up?
No, I was not. I was not a
weren't?
fan of. I was not a fan of Georgia.
Did
I was.
you have?
I was a. Yeah, I was a Florida State fan.
Okay. Okay. Do you have a family in Florida? Is that?
I've got some family in Orlando, but my dad went to Florida State.
Did he? Okay. Did you play?
Yeah, he was more of a track guy. He was big in track and
Okay.
field, like the shot put and whatnot.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's it for me. Steve, I don't know
Yeah,
what happened.
this dude croaked on us. Goodness gracious.
I want to thank you for your time. Really appreciate you coming on here with us.
Oh, no problem, man. It's fun.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah. So exit out or should I wait for Steve to get back? Say bye.
I don't know. I don't know if Steve's gonna come back, so I guess
Wait, are you in Seattle or is he in Seattle?
I am not. I'm in Ohio.
Oh, okay. Of course it's him, that West Coast stuff. Goodness gracious.
Fair enough. So you were a 4-star recruit.
Yeah.
What kind of schools were you hearing from? I mean, a bunch of schools. What kind of schools piqued your interest other than Ohio State?
Goodness. My final 4 was Ohio State, Notre Dame, Stanford, and Clemson.
Okay. Okay. What about I'm curious about Stanford. What about Stanford sort of was appealing to you?
I'm back.
Well,
back.
nice of you to join us. Goodness
Man,
gracious.
I don't know what happened. My internet crashed, and it's just with Chrome. Everything else was good, and
Interesting.
StreamYard unfortunately is on Chrome. But let's get back into this.
So we're talking about his recruitment. He said Stanford was within his top 4. I was curious about that.
Well, 1, just great education over there, and then 2, I fell in love with Christian McCaffrey whenever he was there, and that was to be. Oh, actually, no, that was to be a linebacker. Goodness gracious! I kind of had this cool idea of Stanford at the time. I liked California, so I thought it would have been cool to live out there. And then I went to a game. It was like 10 p.m. my time, and there were maybe 20,000 people there. Most people were on their phones, probably in the library studying. Realized, okay, this isn't fun.
Was it a game day experience that made you realize, okay, I want to be in Columbus?
Oh yeah, because I think I went to the Ohio State game, I think 3 weeks later, and it was the Penn State game.
All right.
Where Saquon returned the kickoff.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I think that was it, if I'm correct. But yeah, three weeks later, I'm in an environment with 110,000+ people, and Saquon does that first play. Like, it was just such a big difference.
Yeah, he ran that kickoff back too, or ran a kickback.
It was a opening kickoff.
Opening kickoff, yeah. And then all of a sudden, Ohio State just turns it on at the end of the game to win that comeback. That was like, what was it, a 24-point comeback or something ridiculous?
It was something crazy. It was one of the best games I've seen in person.
It was a blackout too in the shoe. That was the first ever blackout. Yeah,
love the blackouts.
Yeah, yeah. I love the changes in uniforms. Do you like those different uniforms?
Big fan. Goodness, I've had a whiteout. I've had the blackout. I don't think I've had a. I think I had one gray jersey too.
All right.
I think those are the 3 I had as far as like alternates.
Yeah, those alternates are awesome.
I wish we did them more.
Yeah, I think we need to. What would you think about doing an all home like UCLA and USC for an Ohio State Michigan game?
Wait, say that one more time.
Like an all home jersey, all dark, like Ohio State's in the scarlet. Michigan would be in their navy. I mean,
so a color rush?
Yeah.
I mean, that could work. I think they kind of naturally do that. And then one of our first times doing it was last year against Tennessee. I think that was the first time we did that. And then, I've also been a red color rush against Penn State. So I like those red rush.
I like the red rush too.
I think a color rush, that would be fun. You could play that.
Yeah. I think it would look good. Just the contrast in color would be awesome.
I think it's a cool aesthetic. I think you need to contact some high up people.
I don't think that people don't like to change that Ohio State Michigan game. Anything that involves changes, like I can't believe that 2006 they did a 3:30 game.
They did yeah. I mean, even to me that sounds weird.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
I can only picture it at noon.
So I wanted to get one more thing from you, if you still have some time. The transfer portal, is that going to change the way recruiting is done forever? I mean, do you think that we're going to need to have those older, more mature players every year, like Indy's shown you that you need to do? There was a couple different approaches. You had what happened with Michigan, bringing everyone back. Ohio State bringing a lot of guys back too. Yourself excluded because you wanted to move on. But bringing a ton of guys back and having an older team was what it was looking like it was trending towards. Then all of a sudden Indiana pops out of nowhere and they just have a bunch of older dudes. Guys that have physically matured, mentally matured, and are ready for battle. Is this going to change the way high school recruiting is done for eternity?
If it doesn't change, yeah. Because at this point, you got to put your time and effort to guys that can contribute right away. Because you're seeing it with like Ohio State. There's a major exodus of a bunch of young guys who are going to play. Like they're really talented. You got guys like Miles Graham, Bryce West, and they're going to get on the field, but they're leaving. So why put all that effort into these high school recruits if they're just going to stay for 9 months and then leave? So why not just go to the transfer portal, get a Will Howard that's going to produce immediately and continuously try to get to that national championship? Because you can't have a rebuild year at Ohio State. You just can't.
Right. No, you can't.
Which is interesting. It was kind of all the guys that were sitting a little bit in the background and maybe would have had a chance to start. Those were the ones that hurt the most. Yeah. Like you said, Bryce West, Aaron Scotts that leave. One of those guys was at least going to be in the running to start, because they got to.
I thought Bryce West was going to be the guy this year with Lorenzo leaving.
Yeah,
but he left. I don't know what the situation was. If there's a better opportunity or if it's money, I don't know. I can't get in the kid's head. But
he went to social media and very explicitly stated, like, "Hey, it's not money." Bryce did.
That makes me think that it might have been money. If he has to go out and say that.
But you don't come out and say that, even if it is. But you can't blame a kid for that.
Like, no, I mean, if someone threw him $3 million, am I supposed to tell an 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid, don't take that money, stay here? Like, come on, they're 19 years old.
Yeah, and if you're working at McDonald's and they offer you $1 more at the McDonald's down the street, are you going to go to the other one? Heck yeah, you're going to go.
As long as it's not a crazy commute, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's what everyone does. That's the world of money. Once you start getting paid, you have to balance, what your life's like along with how much more you're getting paid.
Yeah, that's why I have a little leniency with it because, again, like they're kids.
Yep.
And but as long as they're not doing their own stuff and trying to make these multi-million-dollar deals like Damon Williams Jr. was trying to do or whatever that situation was.
The Duke situation's pretty crazy too.
Yeah, that's where it gets, because it seems like these guys are doing it themselves and they don't have the brain capacity to do it yet. So just leave that for the professionals. Just go out there and play football.
Fair enough. Yeah. So I guess my last question for you is, you spoke on a podcast earlier this year with Bryson Shaw about some incidents that took about throughout the season. Are those kind of blow-ups common in football? Is that just something that's part of the game, and you guys just you move on from that?
I wouldn't call them blowups. I view it just based on kind of how I was brought up there. It's just accountability because they saw a problem. They wanted to nip it in the bud right away. And it worked out because I'm guessing the story you're talking about was from after the Clemson game, my freshman year, whenever Coach Day and Coach Mick, they brought a certain player up. They
Yes,
showed
correct.
every single negative play that he had and talked about what he was doing the night before. And it sucked being in that room for everyone. Like, everyone was uncomfortable. The dude was crying. It was a terrible situation, but it ended up working well. He loved Coach Day, loved Coach Mick the year right after, and now he's successful in the NFL. So there's a reason why they do that stuff, because there's a lot of people saying like that's cruel, that's mean to do, but that's just college football at its core.
Absolutely.
And some guys are going to respond well to things like that. They need that to, show them, hey, it's time to get to the next level. They're, you go back and talk to players in the past, and some of the hardest times they've had have brought them to that next level. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You talk about 12 gauge, I'm not here to play school, and he had all that comments kept coming back on him, still comes back on him on occasion. But man, he grew up when it was time to step on the field and go winning that national title, and did it.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Day, he calls it competitive excellence whenever your numbers, and it's that along with just he needs to like sift out the winners. And at that moment, that player is either going to rise to the occasion or he was just going to crumble and die. And he rose to the occasion, had a great year, and now killing it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So this year with Ohio State, I kept saying that's my last question, and I keep thinking of another one.
All good.
This was kind of a young team in some ways, veteran at the defensive level, but guys that were kind of younger that hadn't had a ton of experience. They've been in the program for a while. Well, offensively, really a young team by the end of the year. If you have Bo Jackson as a starting running back, you have Sang as a starting quarterback, you have some experience at wide receiver. We didn't really have the expectations they had the year before, where you had to go out and win a national championship. Would you still say this season was a success, or?
I mean, it's always really, if you don't win the national championship, it's not technically a success, because the three goals are beat the team up north, win the Big Ten, win the national championship. And if you're not doing all three, then it's not successful.
That's what Garyon told us, Garyon Conley.
I like that. That's the standard at Ohio State, and that's never going to change.
Yeah, like in my mind, like I never had a successful year because I never won a national championship there. And that's just kind of what they implant in your mind as soon as you get there. And you saw how it worked out in 2025, 2024, whatever year you want to claim that. But yeah, it's just a mindset that all Buckeye Nation has. Like, you got to win every single year.
All right. That was my last thing, and you answered that perfectly. That is the perfect way to end a Buckeye show.
Perfect.
So, Steele, thank you. I wish you the best of luck in the UFL, and hopefully you get a season that springboards you into the NFL. Yeah, because, man, it's got to be fun living out the dream, and playing a game that you love.
It's awesome, man. Wouldn't change it for anything else.
Yes, sir.
Cody,
yes, sir.
thanks for coming on and getting Steele on here. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Everyone out there in Buckeye Nation, God bless. OH.
I know, baby. Come on.
Kind of didn't round that O enough. I got to do that again.
It's fun. The spirit's there.
Here we go. All right. Have a good one, everyone. Take care.